Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Houston Texans. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson. First carry now for Gus Edwards. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On second down, it's Edwards. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Hey, watch it.
From the gun, here's Watson. Aguilar has it. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 45-yard line.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Edwards now on 1st and 10. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And some room to run now. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he claps down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the 2nd level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. On first down, it's Edwards. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off the same.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start out here with a jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. but the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
To throw is Newton, and that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Taking a shot for Samuel. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They run the counter. It's Woods. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Back to throw, Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And getting our first update now from Nashville. 39-yard punt. 6 yards on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. Newton now to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
It's gotten to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Now it's Newton. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Newton, he gets this one to Boyd. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Check 3, check 3, check 3. Check, 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 check.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. An 8-yard touchdown run as they are now on the board here in the first half.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Extra point from McManus is good. And we are tied at 7. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now it's Edwards. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
They'll run on first down. It's Woods. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll try the air now with Watson. Completes it to Aguilar. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you got to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bengals will get it at the 20. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
On first down, it's Newton. To Mixon on the check down. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. So that'll back him up 5. They were looking good on 2nd down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. Here's Newton. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Mike 50, Mike 50. Go. Go.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Open man is Uzama. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing again is Newton. He'll buy some time right. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
Elsewhere, a score update from New Orleans. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Mixon with a first down carry. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. It's a loss of 11 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down.
Let's go, tighten up.
From the gun, here's Newton. Looking deep for Adams. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Davante Adams, 44 yards. And the Bengals have taken the lead. McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 14-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told, and it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Gus Edwards heading back onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up?
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
To throw again on 2nd down. Watson. Safarian Jenkins has it. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Now a first down throw. Watson.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1. Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Watson looks to throw again. That's into the hands of Edwards. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it's a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go!
The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Check. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Watch the safety creep.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's King, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face a third down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Check the out. Great. 55 to mine. 55 to mine. You got nothing to do.
To throw on third down. Newton, wide open receiver, complete. And all the way down to the 26. A big play there for the Bengals. 43 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Cam fakes the give and keeps it. Got a man open. It's Ross. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Well, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for. Third down here. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Again, Newton. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Ready? Ready?
On first down, Mixon. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 2nd and 11 now. Newton, rush coming, and he's taken down. Give the sack there to Jake Ryan.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. The shotgun snap for Newton. And that is incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field. But they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play.
How many plays do you script coming out of the 2nd half?
Most of the time in the 1st half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the 2nd half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they're going to get about 3 here out of this 1st down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. He's a 2nd-round pick, a solid 2nd-round pick. But when you're close to that 1st round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a 1st-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had 1st-round grades on him.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Watson on 1st down. He finds Hopkins complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. From 13 yards out, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. So that drive goes 8 plays, and the result, a Houston touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. On 2nd down, it's King. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I know this game's winding down and people are getting tired, and that's when you really want a big body guy running the football. But I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use him more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead, usually not as fumble prone either.
No, that is so true because they are taught, take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around it when they go through the line.
J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Gun.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And Adams has it, complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 18. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Newton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Newton. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game. but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. Now Watson. Open man is Samuel. Complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Here's Watson. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, Watson. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Again, it'll be Edwards. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. Back to throw.
His path became similar to almost running a...
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Late game, that hurts. Take the touchdown off the board.
No doubt about it, and this is where you make a great movie scene, right? Go in, rally the team. Okay, we lost points there. Let's get it back and go out and score again. Can he get it done?
Bullock's kick is good. And we are all tied here in the final stages. So a big kick to get this back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you, but you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have...
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And the Texans scoop it. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
I'm fairly sure that there's no good time to cough up the football. But this couldn't be much worse, could it?
No.
This situation, this yard line, no chance.
They set it on a T-form. They're already in field goal range here late in the 4th now.
Yeah, warm up the kicker. Just make sure they take care of the ball now. They've got a chance to put this thing.
Touchdown, Houston. Austin Seferian-Jenkins. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
So Cam Newton and his offense down 24-17. 70 seconds remaining. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. J.J. Watt in there for a milestone sack. That's number 150 of his great career.
20. 50 to Mike. 50 to
Now Newton. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Newton to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. But now it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Newton. He's got Adams on the hookup. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
50. Rip left. Mike,
now it's Newton. Open man is Ross, complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down. He's back to throw. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. The tight end, C.J. Uzomah, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Great. Mike 50. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Hey!
And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 2nd down.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the stick, 2nd and 15.
Mike 50. You must be true. Mike 50.
One last throw here for Newton. Now a desperate, and it's caught. It's a touchdown with zeros on the clock, and an extra point will send us to OT.
Brandon, we've seen this many times before. They've got the momentum. They just scored. Go for two and end this thing now.
Now for the all-critical extra point. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now for the all-critical extra point. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the fourth. And we have free football. Overtime. Here we go, my friend. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. As a fan of the NFL, for an opener, you can't ask for much more than this overtime in week one.
I know it's hard to believe that some people may not have been watching our game, but I bet through social media they found out this one was snug and getting into overtime, and they flipped over here in a hurry. This is fantastic. If you're a fan of ball, you love these types of games.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Woods. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Get him, boy. Get him, boy.
In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive. First throw in OT for Watson. And Woods has it complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. The defense does its job. Now they're going to get the ball here in overtime with a chance to win it.
Major league kudos to them, because to get the ball back in this spot, everything was on them. It had to happen, and they pulled it off. They'll get it back for their offense with a chance to win.
Now here's Ross. That'll go as a 39-yard punt. Give him 9 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
And part 1 is done, now part 2. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game, because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Check 55, Mike. Hey. 20.
Third and long, it's Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for him and shot for him. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. This being their 2nd opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive. See if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
19. Tackle. Jim.
They run once more with Edwards, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
19.
And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. Here's Thomas Morstead now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And he's able to get it out of there. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bengals getting set to go and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
On 1st down, Newton. And an alley to run. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A quick throw now complete to Ross. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
On 2nd and 12, Newton. It's caught here by Adams. And he's taken down inside the 30. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. And McManus missed it. How about that? No good. Wide to the left. And we will play on here in overtime. So that will be it. And how about that to start a season, Charles? Both teams 0-0-1.
Say that again?
Yeah, 0-0-1.
That is not what you expect to see when you look at the box scores, right? When you look at the standings after a game like that. And do you really think they worked the whole summer, the whole offseason to come in week 1 and leave with a tie?
No, I don't. But, hey, I guess better than being 0-1-0.
Good point.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long from Houston.